No, but like I was saying, if you can hear the fan in the background, it's because of her.
I be hot.
Mm-hmm.
I be hot.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Moving up with the Miclettes.
Moving on up.
Mm-hmm. And what you sipping on?
It's just water. I'm just being bougie. Because it's real hot. Hot.
Yeah, it's like 90-something degrees.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we got the fan going again. If you ain't known by now, Sherri really, really likes to have the fan on. Oh, man.
I don't know if they heard that or not, but...
If you did, Lyra's in the background over there outside the bedroom cracking up. Oh, and these kids are too much. They don't let us be great. They gotta let us know that they're always somewhere in the house while we're trying to shoot these videos. So, yeah, props to them. Oh, like that? No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Gotta stay hydrated.
All right, so today's video is all about, should couples have joint bank accounts? What do you think?
I think it has its pros and cons. Definitely a reason to have a joint account is, all the bills are kind of paid out of one account. So you're not worrying like, okay, well, he's going to pay for this, I'm going to pay for this, and, how we're going to keep that, I guess, in order. But at least if you have a joint account, just where everything, you put all the money, in one account, and then the bills come from that. Also, I think having a joint account, it's easier to budget that way. When you have all of your bills coming out of one account, you have everything you have to pay coming out of one account, then you don't have to worry about checking all the other accounts to see like, okay, well, let me transfer this, let me transfer that, let me do all this. At least when you start out at the beginning of the month or however you're doing your bills, if you make sure all the money that, is supposed to be coming out for that month is in that one account, that's just less stress that you have to worry about.
Yeah, and I would say this. I would say to your strength of being a very good money manager, budgeter, CFO for our finances, right, for our income and our accounts, I would say that it does take a person who has good control of that, right? And so if you are the individual who is paying the bills or making sure that bills are paid, it's definitely beneficial, right? If both individuals are paying bills, then it can work, right? But they have to have the communication, right? It definitely takes the communication. We'll get to that here in a second. I think that as the main money manager or the CFO of the family or the couple, it makes it a lot easier to also redistribute and rebudget, right? And so if at any point you go over your budget, say for groceries, which we have been encountering over the last, 7 months since this whole pandemic even started. You know what we've been spending more of our money on? Yeah, food. You want to know why? Because these dang kids act like they ain't going to have food tomorrow. I can't believe how much money we're spending on food all of a sudden simply because they are home every day, right?
They're growing. That's what people say. They're growing.
Yeah.
Look.
No.
Get out the kitchen.
No, for sure.
Always.
Right? Don't go in and get a snack and then get 3 bowls of cereal. Craig.
That's our son.
Craig. Craig. Get out the cereal.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So that's something that we've been experiencing is we've been having to rebudget for groceries, right? And then again, every now and then our electric bill or our power bill can be a little bit higher than we want it to be. PG&E. PG&E, and so sometimes that can happen, right? And so you got to redistribute. So I think if you do have those joint accounts, it makes it a lot easier for your family to stay in the positive as opposed to falling into the red, right? We don't want to be in the red, we want to be in the black. Always bet on black.
Yeah. Now, with joint accounts, like what is all having a joint account? What do individuals coming together need to have?
Communication.
Bingo.
Communication. Communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
Even in our 12 years of marriage,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every now and then, communication could be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Communication can definitely be better about, hey, I just spent a little bit more on this purchase than I had in the account for, right? Or hey, just FYI, I withdrew X amount of dollars and I was supposed to use that for this, but instead I used my debit card.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably going to dip into the budget that you had distributed for the month, right?
Exactly.
And so communication is always key, right? So even with us, even though we're talking about this topic, it still applies to us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because guess what? We ain't perfect, right? We ain't perfect, and we're not trying to act like we are. But all of this is dependent on whether or not the couple has effective communication.
Yes.
If you have effective communication, then this is going to work for you. And again, sometimes that communication breaks down for whatever reason, right? Because that's what happens in relationships, even in marriages. And so you just got to tighten that back up again,
Yeah.
right? And it's communicating respectfully as well, right? Like that's the thing. You got to be able to communicate respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
And so the person who might be spending a little bit extra or maybe not as responsible with the spending, if they're being attacked, it's probably not going to be the most effective way of
Yeah.
communicating and trying to find a solution. So regardless if you've been married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or even in our case, 12
Mm-hmm.
years, or
Or
you're
just
just dating.
in a relationship.
Yeah, even if you're just in a relationship.
See how we did with that?
Right? Yeah. See, we acting like a married couple. We acting like an old married couple. Yeah, if you're just dating, you're just in a relationship, and you live together, especially if you live together, and you got joint accounts, then you need to definitely remember that it's important to communicate respectfully.
Now, not to say that everyone has to have, or every couple has to have joint accounts. Sometimes it just might not work for your situation. But that is something, you should definitely come in, talking and once again communicating with your significant other. Like if you know that this person has a shoe problem and is just gonna spend all their money as soon as they get it, you might not want to either give them the debit card or just make the joint account a savings account to where you don't have debit cards to it. This is something that just bills are coming out of, or just something is coming out of. You have to go directly into the bank to get it. You can't just use your debit card and swipe it, So also, if they have an issue with potentially spending, maybe you could just have accounts where each person has their hobby account, So like, let me put $150 in your account, for the beginning of the month, for your shoes, for whatever you want to spend your money on, records, golfing.
What'd you say, records?
Hey, hobby.
Hey, no, I thought you were trying to come at me real quick. That's all. I thought you was coming at me real fast. Okay.
So, it's something you definitely have to speak with your significant other for.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, yeah, let's get a joint account, and you don't know this person's spending habits.
Yeah.
You have to kind of learn that. Take the time to learn your person's spending habits, see what they spend their money on, and then decide, should we open a joint account? I don't know.
And I'll even take it a step further. Because we're living in the digital age and we're seeing that most purchases can actually be made electronically, Netflix, Spotify, YouTube. In my case, I have 3 record pools and 2 streaming services to account for. Amazon Prime, right? Yep. You have a number of different purchases that are going to be automatically deducted every single month. You got to accommodate for that.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, we ordered pizza. Oh, I just paid for it electronically. right? Oh, I just paid for, whatever download. Oh man, now we got to, account for that. And
so basically what we're saying is communicate with your partner, whether or not it's beneficial for you to have a joint account, or whether or not, maybe we should just keep our separate accounts and, I'll pay this bill, you pay that bill, and let's not do joint accounts because you don't know how to save your money.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I would even go and give you all a bonus. This may not be the best idea if one of you or both of you in the relationship has inconsistent or unsteady income, because that can ruin all of your budgeting. That can ruin your plans big time, right? And especially right now during this major economic downfall that we're having. Some economists may call it a recession. Some people don't want to call it a recession yet. Here we are in October of 2020, and economically, it's not looking great, right? And so you still have millions of people that are without jobs, and the potential for maybe millions more who have a job now to lose their job in the near future, depending on the industry that they work in.
Yeah. So, having a joint account, that's definitely depending on your situation. Not everyone is okay with having joint accounts. Some people do, some people don't. It just depends on your situation. So, but definitely take the time to communicate with your partner and, find out how their relationship with money, basically. That's all it comes down to. Their relationship with money, they're responsible, things of that sort. But, let us know in the comments whether or not you have joint accounts with your significant other, or if you don't want them touching your money, you want to spend your money the way you want to spend your money.
Don't touch my money.
Exactly.
Get your hand out of my pocket.
So, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep moving up with the Miclettes. Let us know what you think in the comments.
All right. We'll catch y'all out on the next video. Thank you for being here with us. Keep moving up.
Anywho, so what we talking about today?
Yeah, so what we are talking about today... Oh, you know what? We forgot to introduce ourselves.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
But all of this is dependent on whether or not you have effect. Is that good? Yeah. That is some good H2O. Man. Yeah, so anyways, like I was saying.
You have, your joint account, but you might have somebody who...
Sip your water, girl. Sip your water.